Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Case's movie review of Heat coming up at 8. And a few minutes away, we'll have that keyword for Fest, a chance to get to Vegas for the When We Were Young Festival. You get Panic at the Disco, Blink, Weezer, Avril Lavigne, Offspring, and Riot Fest. I'm going to do something I don't normally do. We do have a show plan. We follow it pretty religiously, but sometimes we make call an audible.
A pivot.
Yeah, we say, you know what, let's move. This other thing's going better. This might not go. At 4 a.m, this sounded better. Let's not do it now. I teased that something's coming back and that it went away in a very bad way. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to talk about that all of a sudden.
Ironically, it's not coming back now because you're not going to talk about it.
You'll never know what it is, but I'll tell you what, Monday at 7:50, we'll tell you what it is. How about that? At Monday.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
We'll do that. But this was more disturbing to me, and I just can't get out of my head over the last 15 minutes. So we have to mention that Delta Airlines, we talked about this week, Southwest got rid of their free bags they've had. That was their brand for so long, and they got rid of that. United Airlines also is doing a different thing where you have to get there a little bit earlier if you could actually miss your boarding time. We talked about that. This is another airline, Delta. This is disturbing. It quietly added solo flyer surcharges up to 70% more unless you're traveling with somebody. Meaning that if you're lonely and
they're gonna add to that? Oh, come on.
Yes, they're hurting the lonely, only the lonely. Flying alone, they actually say adding a second passenger and the fare drops. It's written into the fare rules that some of their least expensive fares that you must be accompanied by somebody else on the itinerary to be eligible for the lowest price they offer on certain flights.
Shocking, since the seats are 3 across, so you can't always sit next to someone. Do you think that you would get added bonus for flying alone to fill like empty seats that are all next to each other?
You would think. I guess they are trying to basically be a bully like in high school and say, you don't have any friends. and instead of, I don't know, knocking your books or your lunch tray out of your hands, they're just making you pay more to fly alone. It's kind of terrifying. I don't know. Maybe someone from Delta can call up and explain this better because you're getting that lower fare with 2 people, sure. But why can't I get the lower fare if I'm alone and I don't have any friends or family?
I feel like I'm taking this personally.
Well, me or you?
Me. I feel like I'm taking this personally.
I am too. I traveled alone to go see my mom. And I'll tell you what, traveling alone is wonderful. In that chair, and all of a sudden you're trapped on the plane, of course. But there's nothing.
Trapped is an interesting word.
But when there's nothing else you can do, and no one can text you, I know Wi-Fi can get some text, but you can turn that off if you want, and then you're just simply with yourself and enjoying yourself and giving yourself some self-care in the sky, if you will. It's very nice. It's very nice. But now they're saying they're going to ruin that by making you thinking, well, I can't pay my rent this month because I traveled alone for a minute. That sucks. I don't like it at all.
I'm really afraid because we've talked about this a little bit on the show, but my girlfriend, whom I live with, we've been together 2.5 years.
Hey, Kenzie.
Yeah.
Case has a girlfriend.
Whoa.
I know. Shocking news.
I'm not flexing. It's just the reality that we live in. I'm as shocked as anybody. Mm-hmm. But we live together in Chicago, big city. She's moving to Missouri in a week and a half to finish her grad school program. She's going to be there for a year. So I'm plotting out, knock on wood, we make it. I'd like to. Big fan of her.
Jeez.
I'm planning on traveling to Missouri quite a bit over the next year, which, by the way, a prospect I'm not exactly thrilled about, but it is, again, the reality that we're living in.
You're fighting for your relationship.
I'm going to be flying solo a lot. They're taking money out of my pocket, and I'm not even perpetually lonely. I've got somebody.
And the destination sucks.
The destination sucks.
Destination sucks.
Oh, God, I hate buying, flights to certain places should be free because, you have to be there.
I agree. If you fly into Lexington, Kentucky, it should be free. If you fly into Columbia, Missouri, it should be free.
That's what I'm saying. You go somewhere fun, I get it. Okay.
Orlando,
take my money.
We learned about Orlando a few weeks ago and the Simpsons thing they got there. Love it. You should pay to go there.
Right. That makes sense.
Do you think Delta doesn't believe you have a girlfriend?
That is, a lot of people have said this. I wouldn't be surprised if Delta Airlines has also joined in on this. It would not surprise me.
I wonder if the fees are so much, it would actually just benefit you to buy 2 seats and then stretch out.
But you'd still be spending more, but by seat per seat, it's less. So in your mind, it might be better. For example, Delta's charging at least $199 for one passenger on a one-way flight from Minneapolis to Miami. Good destination. Not the
Minneapolis part.
That's in early September, but the search for 2 seats, it dropped to $118 per ticket. It's a big drop.
What?
Yeah.
This
Why
feels
would you do
illegal.
That's just like messed up.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Kenzie, they should reward you for filling that one-off seat that's there.
Well, that's the problem. If it was all even numbers, I could see they have set it up to be a situation where they need single flyers.
They could have put 4 seats on each side if they wanted even numbers. But there's
Right.
odd numbers. There's 3 on each side.
And some flights already charge you for wanting to sit next to your person, so they pull that crap.
Yeah, I saw this family on the last flight. They were trying to get their daughter to come up and sit next to them, and they wouldn't do it unless they paid $40. I was like, I was feeling generous. I said, it's been a good year. Not really. But I thought, I'll cover the 40 to get their daughter up here.
You didn't need to do that. Yeah, you did not need to do that.
Well, I didn't. In my head, I said that because I wanted to be cool.
I'm so tired of Brian. Brian likes to talk about things he thought about doing as
Yeah.
if that's a big deal.
Yeah. I thought about it. Some people don't even think about it. I
Well,
thought
my
about it.
problem is people have a lot of like audacity with like seat switching. So, for example, my dad was on a flight. He had a window seat up, near the front of the plane, like everything's good. And the guy goes, "Would you mind? My son's back there." He wanted him to take a seat in the back of the plane, and it was a middle seat. So switch his window seat out. It's like, you can't do that. You got to switch the good seats.
Yeah, that's the
You got to offer a decent seat.
But if it's full, what do you do? First class? Sometimes there's always one in first class open. There's always
But
one
you
sitting there.
can't, at least, why would you, the guy near the front of the plane should have tried to switch with the guy at the back of the plane. Like, hey, it's a worse seat, but you're up front, which usually has more space or something. People will literally be like, well, let's take the 2 better ones and make this guy feel like a piece of crap. Like, that's horrible.
I don't want to sit next to anybody I know anybody.
I'm
Anyway, I want
with
new
you.
people.
I'm with you.
I know everybody. I've got all the conversations I can have with everybody I know.
Like your wife and child?
Yeah, I want new stuff.
The Fast Fast is Fast.
All right, here we go. Q101 Fest, chance to go to When We Were Young. Yes, you have to fly there, maybe alone, but we're covering it. We got it. Text FEVER right now to 312-591-8300. FEVER. Fever, as in the name of the Panic! At the Disco record, because they're going to be playing Blink-182, Weezer, Avril Lavigne, The Offspring, all there, plus qualifying with one-day tickets to Riot Fest. Text FEVER right now. You have an hour to do it, so if you can't do it this second, don't worry, don't panic. Just get it in once in the next hour, and you're qualified for the trip. It's going to be incredible. And, of course, one-day Riot Fest passes, which are incredible. Coming up after the Lumineers, Case's movie review of Jeremy Piven Project Heat, also starring Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Tom Sizemore, Ashley Judd. I could keep going.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Lollapalooza after shows go on sale at 10 a.m. this morning. They will all sell out very fast. We have free tickets for 3 of the shows coming up here in just about 3 minutes. Stay here. First, music and entertainment news. I was very excited to see that Phineas and Ferb is coming back. And this is a show that's been gone 10 years. My nephews, when they were kids, started watching it religiously, and I was, watching them one day, and I saw it, and I got addicted to Phineas and Ferb.
Really?
I did.
Okay.
And I didn't even realize I fell out of it once they got older and got out of it.
Well, it's like
That's
it's like Walking Dead. The later seasons weren't as good.
Phineas and Ferb.
I think it sounded like it kicked an addiction. Like, I got out of it. I was like, okay.
You have no idea the shaking and sweating and cuddling I needed to get through that weekend to get out of Phineas and Ferb.
What did you like about it?
I loved the tomfoolery between the 2 stepbrothers. They were all, the hijinks, but mainly Perry the Platypus.
Oh my God! Okay, you do know the show. I thought you might be faking it. You really do know the show.
Oh no, Perry the Platypus is probably somebody that you've used as a meme, but don't know who he is really because of the memes that are out there of Perry the Platypus.
Oh, yeah.
Who, by the way, was a secret government agent. They thought as a mute pet platypus, obviously never talking, but just signaling things. They thought he was their pet. He was a secret government agent codenamed P, who regularly dons the hat and trench coat. That platypus look alone is incredible. That's what I liked about it the most with Perry the
What
Platypus.
is happening in this show?
In the show or our show?
That show.
That show? Well, basically, they're stepbrothers, and they just do things in their backyard, like have monster truck rallies.
Kenzie, there's 104 days of summer vacation, and school comes along just to end it. But the annual problem of their generation is finding a good way to spend it. Yeah. And then there's a bunch of hijinks in the backyard, and then there's Perry the Platypus and Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
There's tons of hijinks in the backyard, Kenzie. Phineas Flynn and Ferb Fletcher.
I didn't know their last names.
When my nephews, I stopped watching them and watched the show when I was watching them when they were young because it's so good. I think you would.
Kids were probably playing with knives in the kitchen. You're watching Phineas and Ferb.
I think you would like the show. You said that Tristan wasn't too into it because probably
No,
he was too.
that wasn't when he watched.
Well, he was too old probably because it was already over the new episodes. But he's only 11 years old. They haven't made a new episode in 10 years, so they're having some new ones. It was like 07 to like 15, but there was 4 seasons in there.
Kenzie, do you not remember the debut of Phineas and Ferb airing after the world premiere of High School Musical 2? Because I certainly do.
No, I don't think I stayed.
No, that's too bad.
I did watch High School Musical too.
Hell yeah.
They say the decision to restart the series was a no-brainer after 10 years because according to Disney internal streaming data, which is rarely shared, the show has been streamed some 650 million hours on Disney Plus globally to date. And according to Nielsen, it's one of the top 10 most watched animated kids series on streaming platforms, despite not having a new episode in 10 years.
Incredible.
Where do you think it ranks up with Ed, Ed, and Eddie? Because that was my cartoon shenanigans show, I feel like, as a kid.
Because that's out of my wheelhouse.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie. You don't remember Ed, Ed, and Eddie?
I don't.
Oh, you would love Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
That's all I need is another animated series to stream.
Honestly, you should really get into it.
You would love
You don't know
that.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie?
I don't. Is it just like 20 years ago, roughly, or what year you think that was in?
Yeah. Mid
Let's
to
see.
early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you would love it. But Kenzie, I've seen both. I think Phineas and Ferb is a funnier show, and as people on the text line are pointing out, not only did the band Bowling for Soup do the Phineas and
That's
Ferb
right.
theme song, the theme song kicks ass. It's
Yeah.
an all-time great cartoon theme song.
Yeah. A lot of
I
it,
forgot. I don't know why, but every once in a while in your brain when like wires get crossed, you said Bowling for Soup.
Yeah.
And I thought of that book series from the early 2000s. There was Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul.
Oh, I know.
My wires just got crossed. I'm like, what'd they do?
people are now requesting the theme song.
It's so good. Astute listeners will realize that I did a a speaking word version of the first half of the theme song, which is
Well,
why
I
people want to
assumed you
hear
weren't
it.
just rhyming. You're a poet.
So I'm trying. Okay, I almost was going to play a live version, but I'm afraid they might swear in the middle of this theme song. This was South by
It's going to
Southwest.
get really political.
That's a whole 3-minute song. We're not going to play the whole thing. Sorry. Anyway, Phineas and Ferb coming back after 10 years, some new episodes. There's actually some that will be in the next couple of weeks, as they say. Make sure to just follow on Disney Channel, Disney Plus. The new show, June 5th. The first full batch of 10 episodes will be on Disney Plus beginning June 6th. So next week, that's coming out.
Do you think you'll watch the new episodes of Phineas and Ferb before you catch up on the Stranger Things season you haven't seen that aired 3 years ago?
I think it's probably correct. And I also have to finish The Bear season 3 before the new season 4
you
starts.
really have to do that one.
Oh, it's a lot.
That's a part of your job is to finish The Bear season 3
Well,
because we have to talk
honestly-
about The Bear.
None of the you know what? Don't even watch it because I have to be honest with you. They solved none of the problems. So I think you can pick back up on the next season when they hopefully decide to solve one of them.
Well,
And you'll be in the same spot.
you think I can catch up on what the problems are, though, without finishing the episodes
They're all the problem. They did nothing in season 3.
that already existed?
So you watch season 2, you know all the problems. And season 3, they just mentally had all those problems while they cooked. And then I'm hoping season 4, I don't know, there's resolution.
Awesome. I'm still going to probably watch Phineas and Ferb first. That's a fact. So here we go.
God bless the baby.
312-591-8300. Call right now. It's Pick Your Poison. We have Bleachers, Joe, and Cage the Elephant, Lollapalooza after shows. No one has these. They go on sale today at 10 a.m. You get to pick based on who gets through first. 312-591-8300. Call right now for this. First person gets the pick of all three. Second person, the two left. And the third person gets what's left over, which is still incredible. 312-591-8300. Call right now to win.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Dougie Styles coming in. Lauren's on vacay, so he is here to take you through the rest of this glorious day. Remember, Jeremy Piven had so much fun with us on the phone. He's coming in studio on Monday at 8:20. Make sure you're here. He's got his shows at the Vic, his comedy shows there at the Vic next Friday, and there's additional shows actually added for that additional show, one of them. We'll talk more about that there. That's going to be a blast. Takeaways from the week of shows from you. Case, what do you got?
Val in Bolingbrook checked in her takeaway. Poseidon is the Greek god of the sea and definitely not the ocean. Those are two different things.
I forgot about that.
I'm so annoying.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, Kenzie, what do you got?
Okay. Takeaway Rice Krispies ice cream sandwiches have the power to unite people of all races and genres, which I don't know if that.
That's what Brian said, is races and genres. Take it out for what you
Did
will.
I miss that?
Yeah, he did.
I don't remember saying that. Go to the podcast and verify that if you want to.
I know you did because I went genres and then you moved on.
Yeah, I moved on because we didn't dwell on it. Finally, Frank checked in from the 815. Takeaway. Frank's take. I'm here. I'm in your mouth. And I'm rubbery.
That sounded like the In a World movie trailer guy.
In a world where your mouth is rubbery or something in your mouth is rubbery. What do you got for on the podcast people to enjoy over the weekend?
That's right. A loaded day on the Brian and Kenzie podcast. Kenzie threatened to send crew members to jail if they did this one thing. So please, be careful.
I don't even remember what that was.
Be careful out there this weekend, especially if you run into Kenzie at a gas station. She might be trying to throw you in the slammer. Also, a big clash with Kenzie today. She battled an engineer, which was very, very entertaining. And, of course, it's Friday. My movie review was the Jeremy Piven vehicle Heat, the 1995 classic that just so happened to also have Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer, Henry Rollins, and more in it. But we of course, know that movie for Jeremy Piven's performance of as Dr. Bob. I reviewed that. That will be on the Brian and Kenzie podcast here in just a second.
And 8 to 10 tomorrow morning, we're on with the throwbacks, which are some of the funniest moments of the week. Obviously, the podcast has everything we do. Anytime you want to listen to it on a smart speaker, the app, on your computer, anyway, iHeartRadio, you can listen to it and take us with you.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.